we're back here. Main event with Bruce Cooper joining us. We were, of course, obviously the hottest story. Nothing else seems to matter besides this Ketel Marte situation and everything. Bruce Cooper joins us on Tuesdays, and Bruce came in. I expected you to be a little hot. I expected you to think, be upset with Marte because I know you're a big fan of his. I'm a fan of his too when he wants to play and everything, but I'm tired of these antics. And I asked the question earlier. Are his biggest fans not going to put up with these antics? Is this going to start turning his biggest fans against him? Because last night they were hot and heavy on social media. They're still defending the heck out. It's a personal problem. Leave him alone and everything. And you came in hot about that, saying you're tired of those antics as well and everything. And then right before that break, I gave you the update. They said everything was fine physically yesterday. Everybody was reporting it. You heard Torey's words there as he got more emotional as he was talking about Marte. That tells you I'm torn on that emotion side. I can't figure out if it's anger because he's being let down again by him or if it's genuine concern because he's worried. He knows something about Marte that we don't know, whether it be mental or something to that effect. And so is that the emotion? There's two ways to go there. I think he got emotional because he's just pissed off about the whole situation. My take on this is not letting somebody know. And since you weren't here in the first hour, not letting people know is unacceptable, but most importantly, the distraction he's now given this team. Not just yesterday, not just today, but if he comes back on this team, whether it be a month from now, a week from now, today, which is not going to be today, but that the distraction he's putting on a team and his teammates that's in the middle of a playoff push, to me, is just absolutely unacceptable.
Look, this was a draw a line in the sand moment for me. I mean, look, we've seen situations in 24. We've seen situations last year in 25. I mean, coming out of the All-Star break, that became a big deal. Dude, 3 strikes and you're out.
Right.
I mean, the Diamondbacks have put up with this guy long enough.
They give him a lot of rope.
Hey, look, I have been in his corner.
Yeah.
I've been on my soapbox, and hey, look, this guy can help you. Look, I've covered guys who were very difficult to deal with. Randy Johnson. I mean, he just made media, and my life in particular, just a nightmare. But the dude showed up.
Mm-hmm.
I've covered Barry Bonds. I mean, I don't even ever want to put a mic in front of his face anymore just because I've had tough situations with him. But the dude showed up.
Yeah.
I mean, Ketel Marte. Dude. I mean, I said before the break, I mean, I've kind of scoffed. I mean, a lot of us in the covering the NBA have kind of scoffed at people like Anthony Davis, who has the moniker Street Clothes.
Yeah.
Kawhi Leonard. Guys that are perennially hurt, but they show up. You see them, they're on the bench.
Right.
This dude didn't show up, man. And then you're trying to give him some pass about a knee. No, dude. I watched the Diamondbacks game Friday. Okay, Ketel Marte, after one at bat, they pull him because they said he tweaked something with his knee. All right, Diamondbacks going and win that game Friday.
Yep.
And so Saturday, he's not even in the lineup. It's okay, no problem. Well, he's got a little knee issue. Well, he's back in the lineup on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
He goes 0 for 3 with a walk.
They played better without him, Coop.
Yeah, went 0 for 3 with a walk in that game, and not a peep about his knee. I mean, he didn't even look like he was hurt. Not a peep. And
well,
then
you get up in a plane, you swell a little bit.
What? Well, look. Man, you're trying to perpetrate a fraud on me right now. You're trying to perpetrate a fraud on all of us Diamondback fans and media. Because everything that I heard from Torey, and you just played it, I'm thinking this dude has a mental issue.
Yeah, I think that too.
That's what I'm thinking.
We're on the same
or
board,
I said, maybe he has an extreme family situation, in which,
we would know about that, though.
But he can communicate both of those issues with, clearly Mike Hazen talked to him, because I read an article from Picoro later that night about how he had a phone conversation with Hazen. And Hazen's trying to be evasive is what Picoro's trying to relay.
Oh, absolutely.
So
he said it was unfortunate he wasn't there tonight.
Right. So at some point, if I'm a player and my manager reaches out to me and I talk to him, my general manager reaches out to me and I talk to him, and I still can't communicate what my issue is, people, I'm not trying to protect this dude anymore. He's no longer family. I've drawn that line in the sand. I'm done.
No Olive Garden chips
He's not coming
for
off
him.
the restrictive list, and I'm going to try and make a trade in the offseason. I went looking down rosters, and I came across the Washington Nationals. I said, this is the dude I want. Now, I don't know if the Nationals would want to take on him, but clearly I have devalued Marte's market value because
He has devalued his market.
He's done that too, but I'm doing that by not taking him off the restrictive list.
Well, Coop, and here's the other thing. So if they're going to try and pass this off, they being the entire group,
you can't pass it off as they're perpetrating a fraud.
If you didn't hear the
can't do
update, Nick Picoro is reporting he's been coming back to Arizona to have an MRI in his knee.
Dude,
this morning.
that's all
That's
fine
what the
and good.
report is
That's all
now.
fine, but don't try to perpetrate a fraud like that's why he didn't show up. No,
But
BS.
What I was going to say is, if in fact it is a knee,
No,
man, I'm just saying. I'm eliminating it, Coop, by this fact. If it is in fact a knee, you're showing up to the clubhouse on Monday and getting treatment.
Absolutely.
And have them look at it.
Absolutely.
You're not sitting at the hotel bar Sunday night going, hey, I'm self-diagnosing, my knee hurts and I'm going to fly back. No, there's way more to that situation.
No, it's them covering for him. But here's the side of it. If it is the knee, you put him on the IL before the game yesterday.
Come on, man.
You put him on the IL. Marte's knee swelled up on him overnight. We're gonna sit him out today. And then we'll get it checked out.
A 15-day IL?
Exactly. There's a 10-day or two.
Yeah.
But you could easily do that. They put him on the restricted list, which tells you. But flying him out and saying that today that he's flying back for an MRI on his knee is kind of, like you said, to me, it's just trying to cover for the guy now. Because now it's going to come out and be like, oh, he's going to need knee surgery and he's out for the rest. That's all going to be hogwash. That's going to be a cover of we're not having him back. We're not going to embarrass him, that type of thing.
But hold on.
That's what's coming.
Maybe. Well, let's think outside the box a little bit, Coop.
That's what's coming.
Think outside the box a little bit. Maybe this is part of a plan to do exactly what you want them to do.
Keep him on there.
And that's keep him away from the team, keep him on the restricted /IL list until the end of the season, and then in the offseason, try and trade him.
Dale, I don't need to play any games. This is grown-up stuff.
They want to embarrass him.
He's embarrassed himself.
I know, but they just did it with Zach Gallen. Zach Gallen was done pitching with this team. Well, all of a sudden he has an arm injury and he's on a 60-day IL.
Hey, that's completely different. Now you're sending someone down because you say his performance is not on par. I'm not going to totally embarrass him. I'm going to give him an excuse because he's showing up. He's showing up.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I don't disagree.
There's
but
no parallel.
they're not going to embarrass Marte.
But if you embarrass Marte,
he embarrassed himself.
I understand, but if I'm just I'm not saying what I agree with. Is I'm thinking, are they thinking we don't want to embarrass him, we don't want to drag him through the mud because then we definitely won't get anything.
We're trying to unload him.
We're trying to unload him.
Then I've lost all respect for the Diamondbacks front office. I mean, if that's the game they're going to play to product, no, it's time for this dude to go. And I'm not going. I'm going to go into my clubhouse and I'm going to be forthright. I'm going to be very, very direct with my players in that clubhouse, guys. Marte did something yesterday that's totally unacceptable. I can't go around and manage this clubhouse having someone like this. I'm gonna call it a cancer. Can't have a cancer that's going to infiltrate this locker room. I said, guys, I'm cutting bait. I've told Mike Hazen I don't want him around. Cool. We're going to keep. That's what I'm doing if I'm a leader.
And that's exactly what I would do too, and especially because this is not the first transgression.
Absolutely.
Especially because this isn't the first transgression.
Strike 3. Out.
Yes. And again, I'm trying to come up with some. They got to be done coddling them.
I would hope so.
They got to be done coddling.
The thing that leads me toward that is yesterday they gave him every opportunity, didn't show up, restricted list. They didn't do that last year. Last year they were threatening him with it, and then he responded to him in the Dominican.
He communicated last year.
After they threatened him is when he started to communicate that he was in the Dominican and dealing with that and stuff to that effect. So this time they didn't even threaten him. They were just like, all right, restricted, which they don't have to pay him. Now the question becomes, are they paying him right now?
If they pay him, I'm going to be angry.
Because if it's now, and I tend to agree with Dale on this because I know it sucks to protect a player that just did this to you. I'd be angry if I was Hazen today in Lavello. My eyes would be swollen up too because of anger and stuff. But it's possible they're just getting him away from the team now. But if here's the problem that I got, Coop. Whether it be a week, a month, whatever it is that he comes back on this team, if they allow him back on this team, dude, the distraction galore because everybody's going to ask these questions in a major part of a playoff chase. Things. You got to do what you did with Gallen. I know it's different situation because at least Gallen was trying and everything. But you just do that baseball thing. All right, it's getting an MRI on his knee. I'm going to put money on it. We're going to hear he's going to have to go on the 30 or 60-day IL with a knee injury. Don't know when he's going to come back. Surgery might not be possible. It might just need some healing time. I have a feeling that's coming.
Dude.
I have a feeling it's coming.
Dude, look. I'm trying to establish a culture. I've already established a culture.
This is the culture they've established.
And so I can't compromise that. I have to be I have to be straightforward with my team. You know, and look, I know this is very, very different. But Dale talked about maybe it's a knee and this, that, and they're trying to look, dude, I'm gonna tell you this. And I'm a guy who's had 4 knee surgeries, including ACL reconstructions and stuff like that. But I'll give you a situation.
Man, broadcasting's rough.
No. I was actually playing ball. Now here's the deal, and I'm not trying to. Excuse me. Don't even try to think that I'm trying to compare the two. But I have a message or a theme that I'm trying to point out here. I was Cardinals camp, and they had already had their 2-a-day, so they had a rec center at NAU. And so, us guys, some of the media, we go in and we start scrimmaging. And NAU had their basketball players that are trying to stay in shape, so they're running the court. So how if you lose, you go off the next team.
Yeah.
I got next, and whatever. Well, I still even remember the dudes. Casey Frank, he was like a 6'10" guy. They had Ben McClintock, a 7-footer. And they were just like running the floor. I mean, that NAU team, they were running the floor, and I was getting mad. So you know what? I went in for a reverse layup, and I came down, and I noticed that my knee, I kind of hurt my knee, but I started to keep trying to play in it, and as I continued to play, I said, "Dang, I can't take another step." So I went off. No big deal. So I walked off. Went to my hotel room, showered. Tried to get up the next day to go out to the Cardinals practice. Well, I couldn't even move. I told my photographer, I said, "Hey." And John Alejandro was the Cardinals trainer at the time. I said, Brad, tell Omo that I need some pills to take the swelling off my knee because I can't even move. Dude, I'm communicating that my knee is bad.
Right.
And so you know what? Omo said, we have Coop coming to see me. I went and saw Omo. He says, Coop, you have way too much swelling on that knee. He set up a situation for me to go to Flagstaff General, and they drained my knee. But I communicated that I had a knee problem.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not even on the Cardinals team. I communicated a knee problem. If this dude retweaked his knee, the first guy he should be calling should be like his trainer or somebody. Hey, I need to see the trainer. He didn't do that, Dale. He didn't do that, people. And I'm not even on the freaking team. There's no excuse. Zero.
He's in the bar at 11 o'clock. He's in the bar.
You're missing the point. It's the old baseball injuries, the excuse thing.
No, I'm not allowing that. The culture of my team in the middle of a pennant race. This is inexcusable.
Two things this is telling me if I'm reading between the lines. One, the fact they put him on the reserve list yesterday before the game tells you they might be tired of it also because there's other ways to handle this.
What other way?
Well, again, say, hey, his knee's bothering him today. We're just not putting him in the lineup.
But he didn't even communicate that, though.
I know. I'm not saying – forget about that. I'm talking about from the Diamondback side. They put him on the list there. Maybe that means they're tired of him. Then they're flying him back, getting him away from – folks, they got MRI machines in Boston.
Yeah.
I'm going to go out on a limb here. I haven't used one in Boston, but I'm pretty sure they have one there. I'm just going to assume so. They're not bad.
Harvard's right
it's
there.
not. It's not Alabama. They have indoor plumbing and electricity in Boston. They're good to go for MRI machines. They're getting him away from the team right now, using that as the excuse to roll him out. This is what I love about baseball, though, is somebody's like I said, Zach Gallen did not have an elbow injury in his last start, and for a couple days afterwards, and all of a sudden he has one and has to go on the IL for 15 days. Baseball has a history of using these as the excuses to go. So the question becomes now, with him coming back to Phoenix under MRI, I'm just going to read between the lines and say he's still on the reserve list. You make that move and put him on the IL, different situation.
No, because now you got to pay him if you put him
That's
on
what
the
I mean.
IL.
So if they keep him on the reserve list while he's doing the MRI and stuff like that, that's telling you the Diamondbacks are making the moves behind the scene without
Steve, listen to what you're saying. You're saying the Diamondbacks are making this move, sending him back to keep him away from the team.
I will tell you.
Hey, let me tell you something. Marte kept himself away from the team.
I don't disagree with that.
I'm
just telling you, nothing with Mike Hazen and Torey Lovello tells you. Torey Lovello was on a screen yesterday. If that was me and I was Torey Lovello, maybe I'm not a manager for this reason. One of the reasons. I would have a hard time not F-bombing my player for not showing up and not just no showing.
But I have a problem trying to.
And he's sitting there crying on the screen, and we care about him. We care about him too. But damn it, show up and communicate with us. Look, I would not have been as nice, and that tells you they do these things to protect the players because they care about them.
Well, let me tell you something. If I'm Torey Lovello, I have 25 other players in that locker room
that you're accountable to.
Absolutely, and they all expect this manager to. And I know, Dale, you talked about in previous podcasts here that Jimmy Johnson would treat. Tell him how you're going to treat everybody the same. You put it some way. I forget how.
No, the way that Jimmy put it was, I treat all my players consistently and consistent. The better you are, the more leeway you get. But that's not field stuff. That's off the field stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
If Michael Irvin didn't show up to a game, there's going to be hell to pay.
Sure. Now, so I'm trying to put this thing in its how I would manage it. Torey and Hazen, I don't know what the hell they're doing.
Right.
I really don't. All I know is that I would not bring this dude off. I
don't disagree with you. I wouldn't have him anywhere near my team.
I wouldn't bring him off the restricted list.
I wouldn't even let him in the building.
Absolutely.
That's how I would handle it.
He's staying away from my team. Look, dude, you fired the first salvo. You decided to stay away from the team. And not only did you decide to stay away from the team, but you didn't even want to communicate your issue. Dude, I cannot allow that on my team, because if I allow you to get away with it, then I got 25 other guys looking at me out of the corner of their eye. I can't do that and get away with it. No, you're right. You can't, and neither can he. Bye.
Wow. Hey, Coop, I know we're going to talk more about this.
I would handle it differently than
that. But I want to have a little levity in this program.
Okay.
So
we don't allow that.
So those pickup basketball games at NAU. Who's the best media player?
Who's the best media player?
What years were this?
Clearly, I was.
What?
Yeah, clearly. There's not even a question.
Coop.
Not even a question.
If I call Bickley,
I'm not
Bickley
even.
Ain't it.
You go back. You roll the clock back then. It's not even. There's not even a question.
Coop.
There's not a media member in there that could even.
Ken Summers.
Absolutely not. I kid you not. Look. I'm not trying to tell you I was a big pro, because I wasn't anything, but I knew I was a pretty good damn player, and I was.
So people wanted you on their team.
Oh, absolutely. Hey, let's put you like this. And I'll tell you how this goes. Okay, so my team loses. So the team that says next, say, hey man, will you play for us? So I was never coming off the floor. Because every time we lost, the next group came in. They wanted me to play it, and that's just how that went. And I'm not BSing. I'm not trying to blow my horn or anything like that. But look, I was by far and away the best man, and that's not saying a lot.
What were those games? That was like a 10-9 ball game. First one at 10 and
you
win.
You go to 21-1.
Half court.
How long did
full court.
How long did it take to get there? Is the question.
Oh no!
Was it like Angel Reese missing 13?
No.
13 layups.
Look, these. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you this. So Franks and McClintock, they had it was 4 guys on the team and 1 gal. she was on the NAU girls basketball team.
Right.
And so that's the team that see now we would
they brought in a ringer.
We would come close to beating them, but we just never did.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not the issue. You're getting me off. You're getting me off the issue. Look. I'm back on this deal with Ketel Marte. Dude, I'm just so utterly disappointed.
Yeah.
Because, hey man, I know when I was growing up, it took me a little while to mature. But you know what? One thing that I always did, Dale, even when I was in high school, I had coaches I was afraid of. You know what they would do? They tell you, you better be on your deathbed in the hospital, not show up. You're injured. You're here. You're supporting the team.
That's
right.
I learned. I mean, that's what they said. And I'll be damned. I've had injuries, and I was on the sideline. I showed up.
Right.
I showed up.
You knew that 2001 Diamondbacks team pretty well with Randy Johnson.
Absolutely.
And all that. Could you imagine if somebody pulled this stunt on that team?
Oh, that veteran team. No, those players. They would have overrode Brenly, and they'd have handled it themselves.
Yeah,
Right.
And Brenly wouldn't have had to handle it. Is more of
Right.
my point. He wouldn't have had to go to the microphone because it would have been handled internally, and they would have talked about it.
But
Just watching Perdomo and Corbin yesterday, just be like, we don't know what's happening. It's just what is going on. It's ridiculous to do it. And you can't tell me we've all questioned the locker room with the other antics from Marte before. And the Diamondbacks always, there's not a fracture in this locker room, but then we hear those stories sneak out. It just at some point you got to look at the rest of the team and be like, we're done with this. We're moving on, guys.
Dude, I heard Corbin Carroll tell the media when they asked him a question, he paused for a little while. Then he says, hey, well, he has a personal problem. Let's first find out what that problem is. That's what he said.
Yeah, no.
That's what he said.
They should be the ones that know.
Yeah.
Dale, if somebody was driving in, got in a car accident, I guarantee you on the football field, I guarantee you everybody on that team would have heard, so-and-so got in an accident on the way in today, so they're not going to be here today, or whatever.
You're calling.
It would have gone through.
Somebody. And maybe I don't have Jimmy Johnson's personal cell phone, but hell, there weren't cell phones back then.
Yeah, I was going to say, what?
There weren't cell phones
Jimmy
back
Johnson
then.
would be the one that had one.
Dale, what you do? Go to the rotary phone?
Yeah. The pay phone.
That's what I was telling him. That's what I said earlier in the show. It's not like he was someplace in Boston and got stuck and he had to beg somebody for a phone or get change in his pocket to go to the payphone to dial the number. We all walk around with these devices, with us or close to us, or we can get it as well out there. So I don't know, but there is conflicting reports. Before the Nick Piecoro article, Enrique Rojas, the Spanish language reporter for ESPN, he said, now this was before Nick Piecoro, he said that Ketel Marte remains in Boston dealing with a personal situation. He and his family are fine. They say Marte has been in communication with the Diamondbacks through the appropriate channels and hopes to resolve this matter as soon as possible.
Yeah, but here's the deal.
That's long cover for him,
but
right?
Here's the deal. And look, I don't question the reporter, what they're saying, or anything like that. But here's the deal.
I will.
Here's the deal. We all heard Torey.
Yeah.
Torey said last night he had very little communication.
Yeah.
He still thought he would show up to the ballpark. That's what he said.
They held the lineup for
He still
7
thought
minutes
he was
before.
going to show up, despite the fact that he had very little. He didn't know what the situation was. People, you can't make excuses for that. Mike Hazen couldn't even and Hazen and Torey talk all the time. Hazen can't even communicate to Torey what the issue is.
Think about that for
They don't
1
know.
minute. For 1 minute, think about that. It's 4:00 yesterday in Boston, and you still haven't seen Marte, and you're gonna go. Is that a explicit what's that word? Explicit conversation they're having. Can you believe this blankety blank is doing this to us again? How are we going to deal with, or is it?
I mean, Torey, based on what I have heard from two different reporters now, both Piecoro and from Jody Jackson, they said Torey turned in his lineup card 8 minutes.
Yeah, that's when that literally is when
before
he walked
game
out.
time.
Mhm.
So he's planning on playing Marte.
Yeah, as the DH. He was going to be the DH.
Yeah, this is a pennant race.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, going into last night, the Diamondbacks were one game out of that final playoff spot. This is put up or shut up time.
Yep.
This is big time now.
Yeah.
And I want one of my best players on this team, a veteran, supposed to be a veteran leader.
Yeah.
To carry us through this pennant race. I mean, Corbin Carroll, who had been struggling, looks like he's come out of it. He was National League Player of the Week.
Yeah.
So okay,
by the
so
way,
guy,
Marte posted that on Instagram during the game last night when they announced that Corbin Carroll got it. He did post that on his social media.
Marte did?
Yeah, on his social media page. Yeah.
He can do that, but he can't communicate.
There's another
It's
thing
his
for you.
knee,
This is getting worse. It's getting worse.
He did.
You're
He posted
making
that.
it worse, Steve.
I'm not making it worse. I'm just observing it.
Because you're making it worse for me because
Yeah.
I'm trying to
Coop,
think that this guy has some mental
Coop,
issues, and yet he has
No.
the wherewithal to
Yeah.
tweet that.
Well, I tend to agree with you. I think he's, and I don't mean mental issues as bad, like, he's, maybe it is, I don't know, but he's got something in him that a lot of athletes can have where big moments you shrink a little bit. You don't want to be you get a little stage fright type of a deal in big moments.
Sphincteritis.
It's something like that. And that, he's been struggling this year, down on his luck. His knee's been bothering him. Whether you believe it or not, his knee has been bothering him. Now, a lot of guys would try to play through it. But here's the question, and so I think that there's like a mental block there. But you can't be manifesting in these ways.
No, but
here's what I would do.
You show up to
That's
the
my point.
ballpark at 1 o'clock
Yeah.
and you say, my knee's freaking killing me.
Or I need to see a psychiatrist. I've seen ball players
That's
have
what
to
I'm
go
saying,
see
yeah.
psychiatrists.
Baseball players do it all the time because it's such a mental game. Right. They're the first ones to really do it. And then it went into football. Used to be weak if you would do that, I'm sure. Yeah. But now football players have regularly meetings with sports psychologists and stuff like that.
And here's the deal. Yeah. Now the team, the manager, the general manager, and the player, they'll protect you. Because but you've already communicated the issue you're having, so now they're trying to get you the help you need.
Right.
All right, that's what families do. That's what teams do.
Right.
Well, because the Diamondbacks are investing $16 million a year in him, they're going to give him every resource
look,
to make sure he can get out on that field.
Right now, he's not getting paid, and he's not going to get paid the balance of the season.
You can pay him on the restricted list.
Huh?
You can pay him on the restricted list.
Have to.
I know. So that's what we got to find out next. Are the Diamondbacks paying him?
Well, look.
You still get recruit time and all of that stuff.
You're too kind-hearted.
Yeah.
You're too kind.
No, they shouldn't be paying him, but that's what I want to find out, Coop. Are they paying him or not? Because that'll tell you something else. My last question on this subject, because I'm just beyond angry at the Marte thing. I know you're manifesting it better than I would, because I got to keep calm or else it'll be a thing. Is this a situation where the leadership of this team, do they go to Torey Lovullo and Mike Hazen and say he can't be a part of this team anymore? Or do the coaching staff go to the team and say, what do you guys want to do with Marte?
Who are the leaders?
Well, to me, that leader is Geraldo Perdomo. I mean, he's the only guy who's shown me.
Do you think that's happening? Do you think the players are going to them saying he can't be part of this or vice versa?
I think the players first wanted to know what the issue was.
Yeah, well, I mean,
because Corbin said that. Yeah. And so, and Perdomo, I would look, if I'm a player and I had a teammate that did that, I'm like, that dude showed me how much he cared about us.
Right.
So I'm going to flip to tell you and say, I don't want him around. I'm going to flip the script. I don't want him.
Here's how an injury works. They flew on Sunday afternoon, they flew from Atlanta to Boston.
Mm-hmm.
You're on the plane for 3 hours. You're either playing cards or chit-chat. You might take a little nap.
Yep.
You're eating, whatever else you're doing. But you're talking to your buddy. Coop, man, my freaking knees starting to kill me, man.
Right.
I don't know what it is, and I'm trying to battle through it, but I can't play with it like that. I'm having a conversation with you about that if you're my close friend.
Right.
And so then all the mystery around it, it does certainly sound, again, like I said, you're showing up yesterday and you're saying, my knee hurts, I need an MRI, and they don't trust Boston MRI machines, so they send you home. That's a whole different ball game. Then the lineup card's in on time, everything else goes according, and we're sending them back to Phoenix.
Dale, I In my 34 years at working at Channel 12, I called in sick 4 times.
Right.
3 of them were consecutive in year 13. Because I was that dude that even when I was sick, I even showed up.
Yeah.
Because that's what's been ingrained in me as an athlete. You show up. And so it's no different for Ketel Marte. Even if your situation that you just described, talking to your best buddy on the team on the flight there, my knees bother me. Dude, you can make that same phone call to Torrey. You can make it to the trainer. Yeah. You can make it to Jim. There's people that you communicate that. Look, I had and I lost, and let me tell you something. The 4th time that I called in sick came in year 34. My executive producer knew that I'd only called in sick 3 times in my 34-year career. He says, "Coop, this is your swan song year. Man, you gotta do it." So I waited till about a month out from my final there, and I called in sick. It was more of a joke, though,
right?
Because we talked about it. We talked, but damn, you're responsible enough. I'm a freaking adult. This dude is a freaking 32-year-old, soon to be 33-year-old man. There's no excuse. But I'm not giving him an excuse.
Okay, and
no,
I'm going to throw this out to you too. And again, I'm not anything I say. I'm not making an excuse for what he did.
I know you're not.
But that was probably emulated to you when you were growing up. I know my dad.
Absolutely.
He was a mailman. He retired with a year and a half of sick leave because he never called in sick.
Bingo.
And he always would tell me, "Dale, there's a lot of mornings I got up not feeling good.
Absolutely.
But by the time I rode my bike 5 miles to the post office, I feel a little better. Now I get good. Now I feel a little bit better. Or I could sit around all day feeling sick and feeling sorry for myself." And that was ingrained into me. I never missed a full day of school. And so some of it's what's emulated to you. And again, I'm not making excuses for him. I'm just trying to make reason in my head for him to act like this.
By the way, Enrique Rojas is now saying he is coming to Arizona for an MRI on his knee. If I can't read the whole thing in Spanish, but I picked out those words here on his post here as well. So
that's all fine and good. I have no problem with him coming. That's not the issue.
Right.
Him coming back with the knee.
I'm just telling you, it's a cover up. It's just an excuse to get him out of Boston. They couldn't have brought him back today or tomorrow. They just couldn't have.
I tell you what, like the Diamondbacks, they generally have like a little pregame show that I never really.
You'll be watching it today?
Make it a part of my viewing habits when I sit down and watch the game. Dude, I'll be clicked on from the time that it comes on today.
Coop, yesterday I literally got my 98.7 app on after the game was ending yesterday. I had the I was watching the game on MLB.tv. I'm literally just waiting for any word and comments. It was just the ratings for yesterday's post game had to be through the roof because I was listening to everything that I could, trying to listen to it and read between the lines and all that stuff. So it's going to be fascinating to see. We'll have to watch it. Obviously, it hasn't been held right, but at this point I'm more interested in the Diamondbacks' response because. If I was Torey Lovullo, as I said, I would go to the team. I would go to the whole team and sit them down and say, "Guys, we know what happened. Here's what's happened here.
Absolutely,
it's happened before. Do you guys want to continue this season with him, or do you not? And let the team.
Now you've gone the wrong way.
Now the team does.
Now you've gone the wrong way.
I would even tell the team.
I'm not leaving it up to the team.
I would even tell the team what I want to do. And just let him speak.
I'm not going to tell him what I want to do. I'm telling him what I'm doing. This is a situation.
That's not Torey's decision. That's Mike Hazen's decision.
I'm absolving my players of any responsibility in this matter.
That's not how they do it, though.
Well, you know what? Then
if I was Torey,
if that's not how they do it, then they need to change leadership.
Right.
Well,
I'm just telling you.
Coop.
I'm just telling you.
I've been on that Lovullo needs to go bandwagon for a while now, and that's part of the reason why. I just don't like the way he handled yesterday. I would have been in front of that microphone saying he didn't show up.
Look,
we don't know why. We've got to figure it out, and we'll have more information for you when we got it.
I thought Torey did that.
No,
he communicated to me
he was crying.
that he had very little
he was getting tears in his eyes the more he talked. I wouldn't be crying. I'd be pissed.
I found him trying to protect.
We just love him.
Boy,
okay,
boy.
well, great.
But he was also honest enough to let us know that for us to draw this conclusion, that's unacceptable.
They didn't have, they did not have a choice yesterday. There was going to be no fluff in that yesterday because they would got their heads beat off, chewed off as well.
Torrey, and even if I'm Mike Hazen, I mean, I'm telling Torrey, that's the last straw. He's played his last game for the Diamondbacks. He's played his last game.
Yeah.
If I'm
it's when it happens too. It always happens in a big moment. That's where I get frustrated.
And that's sad. But I tell you what, I know they called up Jose Fernandez. They also brought up.
But they were bringing Fernandez up because Arenado is going to end up on the IL.
But now,
so he just happened to be there.
Now I'm letting Hernandez know. Hey, Fernandez, no, dude, you're here to stay.
You're a guy. I agree.
You're here to stay, and this would be great experience for you going forward.
Yeah. I want to see the young guys. I'm just tired. This drama is bad enough, but I'm tired of this drama when you're in a playoff chase. It's even worse at that point, and that's what makes me angry. If this was April, I might feel differently about it. But you're in the middle of a playoff chase. You're being unfair to this team.
Well, it's a combination of not only when it happened, but how many times it's happened.
That's the other side of it.
Hey, good point.
Really quick, any other comments? And we'll obviously learn more, and we'll keep it in our thoughts. But I want to see how this team rebounds today. Yesterday, I mean, they had no chance yesterday with all this news and wonderment.
It clearly bothered them because the Diamondbacks, watching the broadcast over the weekend, and I found out that they lead the majors, all of baseball, in fewest errors committed. Yeah. They had 45 total. And yet yesterday we saw a couple of errors that
dropping balls.
I mean,
balls hitting him in the glove and just falling.
And clearly, I think
they're distracted.
Their energy level was down, and so normally when this team, when things start snowballing for this team, they usually kind of fight their way back. There was no fight.
Yeah. Oh, no. They just look lackluster. Rightfully so, by the way. And then when I saw Perdomo and Carroll talk after the game, I was like, yeah, I get it, Really quick, as we go to break here, ESPN founder Bill Rasmussen passed away today, 93 years old, but he's the one that had the great vision. Imagine how crazy people looked at him when he was like, I want a 24-hour cable sports network.
Coop and I were of age.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. It's just people have been like, you want to do what? He passed away today, 93 years old for him as well. And Calais Campbell spoke today for the first time since, of course, his family tragedy with his mom and his brother out there. Yeah. I obviously didn't go into details, but he asked for prayers to keep coming in.
Even then, even in that situation, it was let known that his brother had some mental health issues.
Oh.
And to find out, look, I know Calais, I know some people. I mean, I don't even know if I want to say it, but
it's known that his brother definitely had some demons he was fighting mentally and things to that effect when it went that route. But Calais Campbell is out there saying that stuff. And when we come back, let's talk a little NFL. I asked Dale yesterday about rookie injuries. I didn't get to do any research last night because of the Marte situation. Just kind of threw everything in wrinkles as we're looking into that.
Jordan.
That's the other guy I want to talk about. His NFL career is going to be short-lived, right? Yes, come on back, folks. Main event. And we're back here with Bruce Cooper. Drink some water there. Went down the wrong pipe.
Are you going to tell me that the Valley can't have nice things?
Yeah, that's pretty much what we're talking about today. Let me get caught up here on some comments here. Let's see who's getting roasted here, Marte or us here as well, kind of deal. Autumn said Cardinals used the injury thing to keep Kyler off the field last season too. Remember when he took the ball off his face and had a foot injury?
He showed up.
But he did. He kept showing up. And all of that stuff. Everybody liked your comment about dude embarrassed himself, Coop, as well. Robert says D-backs built this monster and now they're panicking. I actually agree with that take a lot. They allowed it to go and go and go, and now they're like,
they're always hoping it's going to be the last one. They thought the All-Star game last week, they worked their way through, and they thought that was the last time.
Yeah, Ann says, I want to have a candid conversation with Arenado and McCann to know their thoughts, as I believe they were part of the story that broke earlier this season. Yeah, we came to the conclusion here a veteran leaked that story to Bob Nightingale earlier this year. We know last year Suarez and Naylor had problems with Marte, and a lot of people speculate it's one reason why they were so quick to ship him out of town. But it's a veteran. The veterans are the ones that have the issue with it and stuff to that. But I watched Corbin Carroll yesterday, and he looked pissed while he was talking. He didn't look concerned. He just looked mean, which he's got kind of a mean look onto his face to begin with, right? That he's dealing with on that side. Robert said Bickley won't answer, and when Dale said I'm going to call Bickley, he's trying to get the next Top Gun movie. He always calls him Kelly McGillis, as well. Autumn says, he posted the. I thought it was right before the game. He posted the Corbin Carroll weekly award thing to his IG 2 hours before the game yesterday, just to make the correction there as well. 2 hours,
but he wasn't at the ballpark.
Yeah, but he wasn't at the ballpark when he did it. And then Ann says, if I was Ken Kendrick, I would say no more, and we're not paying him due to breach of contract.
Yeah.
Well, I agree with that. If they move him off of that list, you're going to see me get even angrier. Yeah. You keep him on that. But then it comes down to they can pay him on that list. I want to know if they're paying him or not. And things to that effect. You got to send the message.
What happens if he comes back and he's got torn ACL?
Well, that's the question, right?
No, there's no question.
That means he's out for the rest of the year.
There's no excuse for not being able to communicate your problem.
Yeah. I'm with you.
I don't. Even if the leg was to be decapitated,
they're gonna come.
No excuse.
No, they're gonna come back and be like, "Oh my God, how's he even standing? This thing was damaged 3 months ago. He shouldn't even have been out there playing, folks." I could just see where that's going as well, coming down the mix. But two things I want to talk about with you, Coop. One, obviously you're a big Arizona State fan, covered them for a lot of years, but Jordan Tyson, one of the best receivers prospects to come here from Colorado, ended up coming here and everything, and just injury prone here with those hamstrings. Gets drafted by the Saints. What was it? Eighth overall. Eighth overall. Goes to the Saints here, and now we're finding out 2 months minimum away from the Saints because of, I think this is the other hamstring, right?
Yes.
Not the same one.
Yeah.
Another hamstring injury. It's just terrible with the talent this kid has that he cannot stay healthy.
Yeah, look. The Saints had two of our Valley quarterbacks fighting it out to see who would be the starter. Well,
Shuck.
They gave the job to Spencer Rattler with Tyler Shuck backing up. Shuck replaced Tyler. And he actually had a strong finish to the season. So what the Saints decided is, hey, I think this may be our next Drew Brees or our next franchise quarterback, rather. I won't say that. And they said, so he has one good receiver in Chris Olave. We're going to go get him a second receiver. And so Jordan Tyson, they look at the draft, and I don't know where he ranked on their board, but Carnell Tate from Ohio State was the first receiver off the board, went 4 to Tennessee after Cardinals took Jeremiah Love at 3. So the Saints now at 8. I felt there were 3 first-round receivers in this draft. Tate, Tyson, and Makai Lemon from USC in no particular order. But I tell you what, I like Makai Lemon extremely well because of his competitive nature. This dude got upset if it was 4th and 10, the ball's not coming his way. He got upset if the game's on the line and the ball's not coming. I want that type of guy. All right. Now with Jordan Tyson, I mean, if you're trying to teach someone how to run routes, Tyson's your poster boy. I mean, he is exquisite. I mean, he breaks ankles. He runs them extremely well. But Dale, from the time he left Colorado with injury issues, we already knew that he had some injury issues as a member of the Colorado Buffaloes when he hit the transfer portal and came to Arizona
That was
State.
his problem between him and Deion.
Now,
Deion came in. When Deion came in. Yeah.
Now, give the Hall of Famer, the great Hines Ward, a lot of credit. I mean, he actually helped refine his act. And so Tyson was one of the best receivers in the entire draft, in entire college football. And we saw the connection between him and Sam Levitt, the quarterback. He was all of that. And so then you got to the point that, it was like, that's all the Sun Devils have. They don't have anyone outside of Jordan Tyson because he made all the big plays. All the big throws came his way. And so you thought that, ASU's doing a horrible job recruiting. Well, Sam Levitt trusted this dude because if you put in his area code, he's going to come down with it.
Right.
You have Scatterbull you can turn around and hand it off to, or even swing it out to, but it's Tyson you're going downfield with. And so that led ASU all the way to the college football playoff. And yet they did so the last 3 or 4 games without Tyson again. Why? Because he had that hamstring issue, and the year before that, it was a collarbone break,
right.
The end of the season. So he has clearly an injury history attached to him. And so I heard you say, based on that, you would not have drafted him in the first round.
No.
And look, that was a concern of mine. The reason why I said, look, if I was going to draft a receiver in this draft, it was going to be Mekhi Lemon. And the reason I eliminated Tyson was because of his injury history.
Yeah. Now you take a flyer on him in the second round. He's got first-round talent, and if he stays healthy, you hit a home run. But,
he's got first-round talent.
Well,
There's no question about it.
Yeah, the problem that I had with him was, we're in April, and he's still not working out. You get to the 3 weeks before the draft is when you finally see him go work out, and it was like, man, they're worried about that hamstring, about him pulling it again. It's just sad when a guy with that much talent just can't figure it out. And I don't know, and I'm a believer of, if you continue to have those soft tissue issues, and now it's in the other leg, not the other one, it just goes to tell me you're just, the way your body's set up, the way you run, he's going to have to change his style for this to stop happening to him. And I don't know if you can do that.
No, you can't. You can't change that. But I will say that this, I was also surfing around. I believe I was on the Cardinals website, and I saw this. We know the Cardinals have had a history of number 1 draft picks who've been hurt all the time.
Especially defensive linemen.
Yeah, absolutely. Darius Robinson, and we saw Walter.
This is my question I want to bring up to you. I brought it up to Dale yesterday, so finish your thought, and then keep in mind all these injuries.
They put up a graphic about this year's draft choices. First round pick, Jeremiah Love, out, high ankle sprain.
Yep.
Second round pick, Chase Basantes, out for the season, torn MCL. Third round pick, Carson Beck, out, bruised ribs. Fourth round pick, Caleb Proctor, defensive lineman.
Didn't even make it to training camp. Yeah,
torn meniscus. I'm like, dang, are the Cardinals really jinxed when they draft a player? I mean, for crying out loud, people, this is like...
Well, of all of them, the easiest one to explain away is the Basantes. That's going to happen. People fall on people, and it's just horrendous luck. But go ahead, Steve. You had a question.
Well, the question is this. So you go back to Walter Nolan. You go back to Robinson the year before. Now, I was going to sit down last night. That's actually what I was doing when the Marte news kind of broke. I got back home. I was going to do this research. I haven't done it yet. But is there something with college players, with the way they get drafted, with the combine, and then the draft? Can we extrapolate something to where they're not ready to be, I'm going to call it big boy hits when they get up here to the NFL level? A lot of rookies, especially in the Cardinals case, we'll speak to that because that's the info I have in front of me. They just always get banged up and injured. Some of them flukes, but they're always coming in injured. Is this a onus around the league for these rookies coming in?
Well, I mean, look, I don't know that I can necessarily say that, because we still have people who wind up being offensive rookie of the year, defensive rookie of the year, and they fill out these first and second team all rookie teams, be it on offense or defense. And so there are a number of rookies who do complete the season, but I don't know. It just seems like all of a sudden there's this dark cloud that hovers over the Cardinals relative to rookies.
Yeah.
Look, now the other rookies you're talking about, I mean, like in a case of
Jordan Tyson's obviously in that choice.
But he has a history there.
Yeah.
So there's not any breaking news. He has a history. And so, the Saints took a gamble on that.
Yeah. But Kansas City Chiefs, their first, I think there was their first, but he's a rookie. He ends up having, I think Bruce Shin is what they said it was.
That's
obviously, but Luther Burden, a left groin injury, and and stuff like that.
These are things that come with the physicality of the game, and so I look more for those injuries that keep you out for, like in Tyson's case, 2 months, or like in Proctor's case, or in Basantes' case, they're out for the year. I mean, I look for those kinds of things.
Panthers rookie Chris Brazell to miss the entire season with his knee injury that he got this year.
I think he had a torn ACL. Chiefs
cornerback Mansour Delane shoulder. Well, he had shoulder surgery in the offseason as well. But linebacker Jimmy Rolder for the Lions out for a while as a rookie there. I already told you about Cyrus Allen. These are just names off the top of Jets. Cornerback D'Angelo Pons. Oh no, I'm sorry, he's not hurt. He just sucks. Never mind. From that side, but no, I know it's not, but it's a Cardinal thing. But I just sit here and wonder. Is it the physicality when you get up to the NFL because they're not footballing right? They're bulking up for the combine and the draft to be their best and everything. And I'm just inquiring if getting ready for the NFL season is not the priority and kind of catching them off guard a little bit.
I don't know. It might be that.
But then again, Breece Hall, right?
Too many. No. Like in Dale's day, they didn't have any. These non-shoulder pad days. Man, I remember those in the Cardinals camp early on. They would have morning practice, shorts and t-shirts or whatever, shorts and pads, and then in the afternoon, full pads. I mean, you're going at it.
Right.
I mean, this is.
Well, Dale talks about they reported and you were in pads like first practice, right?
The very next morning you're doing inside run, but. There is a difference, obviously, in mentality. You can't do that anymore. What I just laugh my ass off, Coop, is all these people saying, why was Jeremiah Love playing?
Yeah.
Why did he carry the ball 14 times? Why did he carry the ball? He's a rookie. This would be the only game he played anyway.
Well, look. The ankle sprains and things like that happen. I mean, he could have suffered that on the first carry.
Yeah, it was a drop tackle that are illegal that got him and messed up his ankle.
Okay, look, it's nothing serious. He'll play this year. I mean, I guess there's reports of high ankle sprain, and anybody's had a high ankle sprain knows how those things can linger. But look, if there was a lot of people, and keep in mind, I came out. I told you guys I do my draft for the Cardinals every January. I put it out before the Super Bowl's game. Jeremiah Love was my guy. I made no mistake about it. We talked about it in the draft leading up, blah, blah, blah. And there was a lot of local people that are writing, this guy, it's a mistake. You don't pay a running back. I mean, they got into the economics of this whole deal.
Yeah.
And so now there's a lot of doubt in Cardinal fans' minds based on articles they're reading relative to this. So the Cardinal fans want to see this guy. He passed the eye test. I mean, they saw something that they clearly didn't know about. Mm-hmm. So this dude is different.
No,
they saw the elusive. They saw the breakaway speed. They saw the spin move. They saw this guy is a different. So now all of a sudden, even people who were writing these negative articles about how the Cardinals blew it. I mean, there's you could found a running back in the fifth round, a free agent. But you don't find one that's a difference maker like this dude.
You don't. And Coop, this is how much has changed. I told Steve this story either yesterday or last week when the injury came out. The fact that I distinctly remember we're going to we ended up going to the Super Bowl the year, 92. Last regular season game, we're playing the Bears. Had nothing to gain or lose. Jimmy started the first team. They played the entire first half. Take the first team out in the second half. The second team's playing really, really bad. Guess what? Troy Michael Emmett go back in the second half of the fourth quarter in the last game of the regular season without anything to gain. And nobody complained about it back then. It's just he was fed up with how the backups were playing. He said, screw this, we're not going to the playoffs looking like this. And today, you can't even play a guy in the preseason without receiving criticism.
Yeah, hey, look. I'm with Mike LaFleur. Mike. I have no problem with you giving the Love the ball 14 times. It was an unfortunate thing that took place, and I understand from you. You said it happened on the last carry.
Or I think it might have been his second. I can't remember, but it was one of the last ones. Yeah, it was a hip drop tackle.
Look. Unfortunately, that happened, but I guarantee you. Coming out of that game, I saw more national write-ups about Jeremiah Love, the electricity, excitement. Now, all of a sudden, the Cardinals, who had this 0-17 in terms of it was the betting lines. All of a sudden, now the narrative's flipped. Right. There's positive things coming out.
Well, it's around the whole offense.
Now the Cardinals have some really good dynamic playmakers around there. I mean, they could really surprise. But hey. we don't really feel that good about their defense. But this offense, they got some play. That came out of Jeremiah Love running the ball 14 times. Look,
well,
you can't have it
Carson
both ways.
Beck's first game too kind of led to that as well.
Well, quarterback's having a 92 quarterback rating out of 100.
Well, let me tell you something. Every Cardinal quarterback. I mean, if you go Gardner Minshew, if you go to Jacoby Brissett, I mean, they have all played well. I mean, Keaton Slovis, he's not getting the same reps, but Keaton's looks good.
Yeah, he looks
There's
good.
not a single quarterback out there who's looked bad in his first two preseason
Either the
games.
receivers, they're going to be cutting receivers that look like they can catch anything thrown to them.
Hey,
they're going to be cutting running backs that look like they're finding holes right now on top of it.
Let me tell you something. I've already got. Look, if the Cardinals, at some point you got to listen to me. At some point you got to listen to me.
Well, they did. They draft Love.
Yeah. Look, I'm going to give you Jordan Love, Tyler Algier, and I know that people are in love with James Conner. And I would say at the time, Algier and Conner are the same dude. But I don't have a problem. Conner's a great locker room guy. Yeah. He's a great effort guy. But then you also keep Bam Knight. There's no such thing as I'm only running 3 running. No, you're keeping all 4 of those guys. Now, wide receiver, like you said, we're having some problems now. Yeah. We're having some problems, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing. That's good because I'm gonna tell you something. Because we already know that Marvin Harrison, Michael Wilson, and Kendrick Bourne, those 3 are locked.
I think
tell you something.
Fehoko is making it too.
I'm telling you something. Jalen Brooks, number 86, this dude. He's already made the roster as far as I'm concerned. He doesn't need to prove to me anything more.
He's got to be good at special teams.
No. He's making my roster.
What about Fakou?
Get the 5.
Fehoko, look. All he does is catch touchdowns.
Yeah. Right? He looks good.
No, look.
Well, he's got to stay healthy. He's been injured the last couple of years.
Yeah, I like him as well. Look. The Cardinals generally have kept 6 wideouts.
Yeah.
And so I just mentioned 5.
Well, don't forget their tight end room is stacked too.
Well, there's
and Tip Ryman's not even back yet.
Look. I'm telling you, I understand that LaFleur likes 4 tight ends.
Yeah.
I can only think of, if you want to call Tip Ryman and keep him around, there's only 2 on that roster that I even trust.
But he's going to start on the IL, so yeah.
So I mean, Trey McBride and Elijah Higgins, and if you try to tell me there's someone else behind them that's caught my eye, you're lying. No. Nobody else.
Really? One dude, that one tall dude making some catches in that Raiders game.
There's no one that has caught my eye in that tight end room.
I got one more thing for you regarding football here. Are you surprised? I know you're not, but Carter Boley and Mikey Keene. Kenny Dillingham finally came out after Tonazona over the weekend, and he said they've separated themselves from the rest of the group, but he is not pulling the trigger on Cutter Boley here to be the starting quarterback for ASU. I know you said Mikey Keene was going to be the guy.
I said,
get more confident?
Way back when they got, and look, I saw some highlights from the spring, the maroon and gold game Saturday up in Tonazona, and you know what really surprised me? They had some option plays that Boley kept, option keepers. Dude, I was surprised at his ability to run the football. Right. That may change a little bit. My thinking. I mean, I didn't.
Because that's why you like Keene, right? Because he can run it if he needs to.
I like Keene from this standpoint. I like his accuracy.
He's from here,
I like
folks.
his poise, and I like his ability to get outside the pocket and throw accurately. Well, he's not necessarily a big runner of the football, but he can run. It's friggin' Boley. I mean, he shocked me from what I've seen. I didn't see that in any of the games that I saw in Kentucky.
Yeah.
Right.
But I said, well, that was interesting. I'll just put it like that. That was interesting.
The one thing that I will say about you, having known you now for 25 years,
something like that.
You come out swinging with your opinions. You usually have strong opinions. You're right a lot of times. You're wrong a lot of times.
Absolutely.
But you have no problem taking a step back and go, maybe I missed that one. Maybe I missed on that one. Maybe, and again, I don't know who they're going to pick. I haven't paid a whole lot of attention to ASU. I will now that they're back.
Right. And
well, here's my question. Could you see a scenario against Morgan State where Boley gets to start and then Mikey Keene gets into that game barring on the score or something to that effect.
If ASU doesn't blow them out to the point to where you're playing both quarterbacks,
then you got A&M next up.
Something's wrong already.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and I saw that they released the rankings, and A&M I saw was number 8. Yeah, I'm like, okay. Well,
I was going, ASU's going to compete with A&M. It's going to be a tough place to win, and then they're coming out with their preseason rankings, and I'm all, maybe not. Maybe they're looking ahead to London and Kansas.
Those preseason rankings mean nothing to me.
I know.
It just means that they got a lot of hype around them, and when they fall, then that hype's gone.
But I don't care if A&M is expected to be a 500 team. They have to go to College Station.
You really do. That's the place to play.
They're going to be hit with some crowd noise and things that hit them that they've never seen before.
Yeah. And I know ASU as a football program went there when Kyler Murray was a freshman there, and so was Kyle Allen from Desert Mountain.
Oh, that's right.
Kyle Allen was running.
And that game went down to the
But that was
quarter.
in Dallas, wasn't it? I think that was at a neutral field.
Oh, I don't remember.
I could be wrong on that. That was when they wore those fire helmets.
I just know it was a road game for you. Yeah. And the game went down to the fourth quarter. Some dude named Christian Kirk.
Yeah.
Some dude named Christian Kirk.
I want to say that was in Dallas. I want to say that was a neutral game.
From the Valley. He wound up being the difference maker in that game.
Hey, A&M is so serious about their football coop. They have midnight yell practice on Friday.
Just so they can learn their complicated chants.
They get about 50,000 fans in the stadium and do nothing but cheers and chants for about an hour.
Jeez.
Yeah. So they're ready to go.
I like their tradition of kissing after touchdowns better. Shoot.
I don't like the standing during the whole game, but there's some.
They're maniacal if they do that. I hadn't heard that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, but I don't know. I'm getting the impression with the quarterback side, with obviously not being there because they practice while we're here and stuff like that. But I get the impression it's one of those things where it's like, all right, Boley, we're going to keep giving you chances to win this thing.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah,
let's do this. Because otherwise, from what I'm hearing and seeing, Mikey Keene, he's made some mistakes, but, it's almost like people are like, well, that guy's kind of won it. So I wonder if the coaching staff's kind of leaning that way a little bit.
Yeah, I think when you put a quarterback under center and how he directs that offense, how he commands that huddle, how he leads the team down the field, how he's accurate, how he eliminates turnovers, that puts Mikey Keene at the top. But if Boley is coming in and he likewise isn't turning the ball over, but he's showing more physical, because you already knew he had the stronger arm.
Yeah, he's a bigger dude.
But if he's showing an ability to escape, an ability to run, that's a whole new dynamic.
The way I look at it, you saw the way that Sam Levitt, before he quit on the team, and the way he played here, I think Boley's more of that type of a quarterback than Mikey Keene. I think that's the quarterback they want. I think that's what they're looking towards.
Yeah,
and why they're trying to push
and
that
here's
way.
the deal. Keene's a senior, and Boley has at least 2 years of eligibility left.
But you're paying him a lot of money, Coop.
and they would be paying him a lot more money than they're paying Mikey Keene, no doubt. And if he doesn't get that job, he doesn't win that job. Oh yeah. But here's the deal. That's okay because I've already said Jake Fetty is their future.
Yeah. No, there's no doubt about that. Everybody's saying
real
that.
Quick, and that's a really lost art, and people don't pay attention to it. But I always used to look at. We had a third string quarterback named Jason Garrett in Dallas through the 90s.
Number 17.
Yep, he had to start probably 4 games, 4-0, because he's a third string quarterback. But I used to marvel at him. The fact that I don't care if he's leading the threes looked organized. They look crisp. They look sharp. The twos, same thing. And all of a sudden, he gets in there with the ones. Guys are making catches that they don't normally make. There was a response to him in the huddle. And that's something you can't measure.
Right.
You can't. You can measure arm strength. You can measure running ability. Can't measure your impact on the offense in the huddle. But something to keep an eye on.
All right,
leaving it there.
I agree.
All I'm going to say leave the show here with the Marte situation. All I'm going to say is the baseball injury is coming, folks. The dreaded 60-day injured list is coming with some excuse.
Yeah, well, let me put it to you like that. If the Diamondbacks if they did that, like I said, now they have to pay the dude. If they just simply keep him on the restricted list, they don't have to pay him, and I'm not paying him.
Because while you guys were talking right there, I was just scrolling through Twitter and all the people reporting. Everybody's reporting. We've been told by sources. The Diamondbacks are saying Marte's healthy. Marte's healthy, everybody. Marte's healthy. MRI for the knee. Okay.
Well, but see, they're losing the big picture here. They're losing the big picture. It doesn't matter if he's healthy or he's not healthy. The dude was a no-show, and he didn't communicate his no-show. Yeah, that's the issue. That's what I'm not. That's why I'm not.
And it wasn't the first time.
Well, okay, yeah, you had the time.
I wonder if his house was broken into this time. That's been the problem. Hey guys, appreciate it. Coop joins us every Tuesday, folks. Be back next year. We're closer to a NFL start to the season, ASU start to the season, Wildcats start to the season.
Yeah.
I was down in Tucson all weekend long, and not a lot of talk down there about the Arizona Wildcats.
Well, and they're just asking, is it basketball?
That's the thing. A lot of Lute Olson murals, and their head coach now that I just forgot his name, and things like that. Come on back tomorrow, folks. 8 a.m. here on YouTube. Come and join us.